Hello, hello, I'm Rose, and today we're going to be making a delicious caldo de res, which is a Mexican beef vegetable soup. For your meat, you want to use beef shank. I normally see these in packages of 2 or more. They are a little more pricier, but they make a big difference in your soup, so don't skip this part. And today, since I'm making a big pot, I'm using a package of 4 and another of 2, making it 6 total pieces. I'm cutting these large pieces in half and then half again. Just don't throw away your bone because that's one of your main ingredients of your soup. You can use as much or as little beef as you like. I like a lot. After it's all cut, you want to make sure you rinse all of your meat. Put your meat in a big pot, then fill it up with water. You want to make sure you cover all your meat. I would say maybe about 2 inches above your meat. Just remember, you're making a soup, so you want to add plenty of water. You can also add more water if needed later. It's time to start cooking our meat. I like to start on high heat so that I can get a boil. Once it starts boiling, I reduce my heat to between medium to medium high. After it's been cooking for about 30 minutes, I come back so that I can remove all the scum buildup it gets at the top. This is pretty normal. Just grab a spoon and remove it. I can usually remove it all within the first 30 minutes. Okay, we want to slightly cover it and continue cooking for another hour on medium heat. While our meat is cooking, we're going to start cutting all of our veggies, starting with a medium to large onion. And we want to go ahead and cut this in slices and then place it in a bowl temporarily. We're also going to be using 3 potatoes. You want to make sure that you rinse your potatoes really good. And then we're going to go ahead and slice these with the skin on. If you prefer, you can also peel your potato. I personally don't mind the skin on it. You're going to notice that I'm cutting my vegetables and my meat in larger pieces than normal, and this is only because a Mexican caldo de res comes with large pieces, but you're always welcome to cut it in small pieces. Our next veggie will be 3 zucchinis, cutting each end off, and then we want to cut them in half lengthwise and slice them. I'm going to separate some of my veggies, so let's start a separate bowl. Now I'm cutting about 6 sticks of celery into 2-inch pieces and putting them in my zucchini bowl. Alright, so now we're going to be using a head of cabbage. I have removed a couple of the leaves and I'm trimming the end here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half and then cut my cabbage in wedges. When you cut your cabbage in wedges, make sure that you cut around the core part of the cabbage. And you'll be placing your cabbage in the zucchini bowl.
The reason I'm separating my veggies is because I will be cooking the ones that take the longest to cook first, and I don't want to have to dig them out from my bowl, so I'm just separating them. I have a small bag of carrots I'll also be using, and I'll go ahead and put these in with my potatoes.
Alright, so one very important ingredient is cilantro. You want to go ahead and chop up the leafy part of 1 bush of cilantro. The cilantro will go in my zucchini bowl.
It's been an hour and a half and I'm ready to add my onions in here. Now the longer you slow cook your meat, the more tender your meat will become.
We're also going to be adding some salt. This is to your taste. I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of salt to this big pot. If you need more, you can add more later. Next, we want to add 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. Then 1 tablespoon of cumin. I'm also going to add 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. Then you want to cover and continue cooking at medium temp. I have mine on 4. Alright, so 15 minutes after we've added our onions, I'm going to come back and add some more veggies. It's been a total time of 1 hour and 45 minutes that my soup has been cooking. And I'm going to go ahead and add some corn on the cobs. And I'm using probably around 9. And you can use as many or as little as you want. And we're also going to be adding our potatoes and our carrots because these are the ones that take the longest to cook. We want to cook for 15 minutes and then come back and add the rest of our veggies.
Okay, it's been 15 minutes since we last added our potatoes and carrots. Now it's time to add the rest of our veggies. I've got some celery, zucchini, and cabbage. After you add all your veggies, if you feel like you need more fluid in your soup, feel free to add more water or beef stock. Last but not least, we want to add all of our cilantro. As you can see, I've got a very full pot here, and I'm just going to mix this up a little and continue cooking for about half an hour or so. Woohoo! It's been 2 hours and 45 whole minutes from start to finish, and our soup is finally done. And the way to check for doneness is by taking one of your potatoes, breaking it in half. If it breaks pretty easy, your soup is ready to go. And I know the soup takes a long time to make, but I promise you, it is so delicious. You are going to love it. You can make it on a weekend and then just have leftovers the next day. Okay, so with caldo de res, a lot of people eat it with Spanish rice. You can find my Spanish rice recipe on my YouTube channel. Please be sure to check it out. Just add a bit of rice at the bottom of your bowl and then fill it up with soup. Look how delicious this caldo de res looks, and let me show you how nice and tender your meat will come out. You can also squeeze a little bit of lime in your soup if you like, for a little extra. I really hope you enjoy this. Please be sure to give this a thumbs up and share with all your family and friends.